Hi, this is Will, pain relief specialist. Am I speaking to Jay?
Yes, this is Jay.
Great. The reason why I'm calling is we want to help you with your pain. We're extremely busy and have tons of people contacting us about how to get sustainable pain relief. So just letting you know, this call will be about 15 to 20 minutes and we'll need to keep to that time. Is that okay?
Sure. Yeah, sounds good.
Perfect. So my job today is really quite simple, Jay. I'm going to ask you a few questions to see how I can help you out. It will be like a friendly interrogation. If it feels like I can't help you, I'll let you know and we'll point you in the right direction of someone who can. But if it sounds like I can help you, we can send you some further resources and even book you in for a comprehensive 1-hour session with Dr. J about how to achieve your goals. But there's no guarantee that we'll do this, and we need to see if you qualify for the call. Is that okay?
Yeah, that works.
So let's start with this. What is your motivation for the conversation we're having today?
Well, I've been having back pain for about 20 years now. Got into a little car accident and never really got it checked out. It wasn't severe, life-threatening pain, but it's always been kind of a nagging pain. So just thought, man, I'm not getting any younger, so I really want to just figure out ways to maybe get rid of that pain. Want to play with my two boys. You know, they love playing basketball, so I want to be able to be there with them instead of kind of just watching from the sidelines.
I gotcha. So is everyone okay though? After the car crash?
Oh yeah, we're good. It's just got rear-ended, so a little bit of
Gotcha.
back pain, a little bit of neck pain, but mainly the back right now.
I gotcha. So what exact pain areas or movements will make this back pain worse for you?
Well, I work at a desk, so I'm constantly in front of the computer. Tend to kind of hunch over a little bit. Can't necessarily see the screen, so got to make sure I, get a little bit closer and see it. When
Gotcha.
I'm playing sports with my boys, after a while it'll start to just aggravate it, and then the next couple days I'll just feel some pain in the back.
Right, you can't really dunk with a bad back.
Yeah, just makes me feel a little bit old.
Yeah, I feel that. So how long have you had this problem? Like when was the car crash?
Car crash was 20 years ago, so it's
20
been
years.
a pretty long time, but like I said, just never really cared too much to take care of it, and now it's time.
Gotcha. So I know you said you haven't really done much to take care of it, but have you tried anything else to relieve the pain?
Yeah, I would get massages once in a while. Go to the chiropractor, try to get adjusted, but lately not too much, especially now with COVID. I just kind of just been at home right now.
Oh, I got you. That can definitely make it worse too, not being able to go out and get the relief you need, even if it's just temporary.
Right.
So how often and how much do you usually pay when you go to these chiro massages and chiropractors?
Massages probably about $50, $60. Chiro's paid by my insurance, so I'm not really too sure how much. I mean, I don't pay anything. We get a certain amount of visits a year.
Okay. And then how often do you get your massage, would you say?
I would say about maybe once a month, maybe
Okay.
twice a month depending on how I feel. And
Okay. Well, over 20 years, that can really add up. If you're paying $60 a month, that right there adds up to around $720 a year that you're spending just on the massages alone. If you add that,
right.
combine that with your chiropractor, that's even more. So exactly what are we trying to accomplish here today, though?
I guess I'm just maybe looking for some resources to. I guess I'm not necessarily looking to eliminate my back pain just because I don't think that's possible, but I would just try to eliminate, reduce the amount of pain in my back, I guess would be great.
I gotcha. So I mean, you said that you like to play basketball with your kids a lot. So obviously that's one of the driving factors as well. Um, is there anything else any specific sports you want to play, weight loss goals that you have?
Yeah, I mean, as I got older, I definitely put on a few pounds. So if I could lose maybe about 10 pounds, I think that would help me out as well.
Gotcha. And why is it important to you to be able to get back to doing those things you were once able to do, like playing basketball with your kids and losing that weight that you've put on?
Well, I mean, I played basketball my whole life growing up. So I want to be able to teach my kids as much as I can. And I believe as a coach, I would like to um, demonstrate the things instead of just telling them, so that way they can both visualize it and hear it. So, I just want to provide the best life for my kids.
I feel that, yeah, definitely. Because I mean, being a coach, one of a basketball team, it's hard for your kids to listen to you that you're teaching them if you can't really show them what you mean. I feel that for sure. And I have a younger brother and sister, and we love to play basketball outside all the time. I would hate not being able to participate with them as much because of pain that I could in some way alleviate or fix.
Right, right. Yep, absolutely.
So how would you feel if you could achieve your weight loss goal and be able to get back to playing basketball with your kids and coaching to your fullest potential and capabilities with dead certainty?
Yeah, I mean, I think if I work on my eating habits, um, start working out a little bit more without pain, I could definitely lose the weight. And yeah, I would love, I want to coach my boys all the way till they're done with high school. So yeah, that would be great.
Awesome. Well, based on what you said, I will definitely provide you some more resources after this call that can help you. But what is guaranteed to help you the most with fixing your back pain is having a 1 hour strategy session with Dr. J. He's a doctor of physical therapy and specializes in chronic pain relief. It'll be a 1 hour session, and he'll provide you a custom plan to help you get to back to playing basketball and get to your weight loss goals in the quickest time possible. Are you open to that?
Yeah, that sounds good. How much does that cost?
Well, we do have multiple options. Do you have a specific budget that you set aside for these problems?
No, I guess I never really thought about that.
Okay, cool. No big deal. We just want to avoid you having to go back and forth with Dr. J once he puts together a proposed plan for you to accomplish your goals. I know you've said that you spend around $60 a month, and I mentioned that that can cost around $720 a year just for the massages alone. And if you do that quick math, that $720 times 20 years can add up to well over $14,000 that you spent just on massages alone if you've been doing it once a month for the last 2 decades. Not even including the insurance premiums and copays just from the chiropractor visits as well. Um, but based on your current situation and the length of time that you've been in this pain, I'm thinking around the 2.5 to 3K range would be suitable for your needs. Is that a range that you're willing to work within?
Uh, I I would have to think about it. Seems a little bit high. Not quite sure what I'm getting out of it. So
Gotcha. Well, the 2.5 to 3K range would actually be able to set you up with a personal coach that will be with you every step of the way to meet your goals. Um, would that be something you'd be interested in as well?
yeah, I mean, I think holding accountability would definitely help me through the process. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great. So let's schedule that strategy session with Dr. J. Oh crap! I forgot to pull up my calendar. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Before this meeting, before we did the practice call. Before that.
No worries.
All right. Um, are you available? Let's see, between any around 5 on Friday, June 26th?
Is this on a phone call, a Zoom, or in person? What is this?
Oh, sorry. Um, they will be either Zoom or phone call, whichever you prefer.
Okay.
Do you have any preference?
Uh, Zoom is fine. Yeah, I'm very familiar with that, so Zoom would work. And you said
Oh,
5 o'clock. Is that Pacific, Eastern? I'm in Pacific, so
okay, yep. It'll be 5 o'clock Pacific time
okay.
on June 26th, which is tomorrow.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah, that works.
okay, awesome. So your transformation session is set for 5 p.m. On June 26th, which is tomorrow. Happy to have you booked. Please note that we get an influx of people wanting to work with us, and we hope that you value our time as much as we value yours. Can we affirm that you will arrive to your scheduled session with Dr. J?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, great. So this will be held on Zoom, and it will be audio only. The Zoom link will be in your email, and there will be a short PDF to read about our services and a required survey to fill out to help Dr. J prepare for the session. Could you please fill this out once we get off this call?
Yeah, definitely. Is that going to be sent to me, or where is this survey at?
Oh, yes, emailed to you.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. I appreciate your time. Anything else you would like to speak about, Jay?
No, I think I'm good.
Awesome. Have a great day, and I'll speak with you soon.
Thank you. Have a good one.
That was a little more rough than I towards the end, but
Yeah, I'm still recording. But how did you feel about Will?
I think it did. I think I was feeling really good up until again, right until we get to the budget. That's something that I know that the last few times we've done the practice calls that I kind of stumble once we get to that question. When they say it's a little too pricey, or they say they don't have like a specific budget, but they don't want to spend too much.
Yeah, we all, especially Brian and myself, it's a when you're just having a conversation about pain, it's not that hard, right? You're just asking them about situation and painting them a picture. But when it comes to asking about budget, that's when we get kind of uncomfortable, right? So it's all about comfort level and repetitions, my opinion. The more you ask it, the easier it's going to be.
Right.
Same thing goes that when you do a bench press, you probably sucked at it when you first did it, and the bar was shaking and you could barely lift the bar, right? Then
Right. To use it.
repetition wise, you started to increase the weight, you started to feel a lot more sturdy or confident with heavier weights, right?
Right.
Same thing goes. Okay, so that's my analogy. It's my analogy because I'm biased towards exercise, but you're just not super comfortable with asking about budget. It's just not something like it's basically saying like, hey, Will, I see you in the streets. How much money have you in your wallet right now?
Right.
Like that, right? It's like that's not how you want to ask it. You want to paint a picture. Okay, you want to get them on your side. So I had some feedback, and I even wrote in some notes too.
Okay. Great.
But before I go into the notes, Brian, what feedback do you have for Will?
When I was asking about price, I was more so talking about the transformation session, but then you kind of jumped into it as like the price for like the solution.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
So I don't think they will ask necessarily about the price of the program right off the bat. I think they would ask more so how much is how much is this 1 hour transformation session.
Okay.
Also, I would change in the script. I know it says strategy session. I would change that to 1 hour transformation session.
Okay.
Jay, is that cool?
Yeah, that's fine.
Because then at the end you say, okay, I have you all booked in for your transformation session, and then they might say, well, I thought I had a strategy session. Is there something different, or what is that? Um, like Jay was saying, the money question, it is awkward in the beginning, and I had the same problem. But I also realized that it's something we have to do. We have to know if they're willing to spend any money, because if they're not, they're going to waste your time. They're going to waste Jay's time. And
Mm,
at the end of the day, you're not going to get a sale out of it. Right. So
right.
you're doing all the work. You're going to send them the email. You're going to book them into a schedule. And it's just going to waste, both your time and Jay's time, so I think as you do it more and more, and people, they don't really mind you asking that question. That was my biggest concern was, God, these guys they're gonna think like I just want their money, but they realize it costs money to get a solution like this, and so they're willing to talk about the money aspect of it. It might not seem like it, but as you do it more and more, they're really open to talking about the money. They'll say, "Yeah, I'm looking to invest," or "No, it might be a little bit less," and then you kind of have to just go down a little bit. When I said I wasn't willing to spend that much, you didn't really go down to see exactly what that number would be. So maybe if they say, "Oh, well, it's 2,000 or 2,000 to 3,000, 2,000 to 2.5k, is that 2k to 2.5k? Is that something you're willing to invest?" And then try to really pinpoint a number, because if you get that number, I don't know, Jay, what, 9 out of 10 times it's going to be a sale.
I wouldn't say 9 out of 10, but it gives me a better ballpark of what they are willing to invest, so I can just make a program based on their window.
Right. So we have a lot higher chance of conversion rate, I guess, would be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think in the beginning you felt comfortable. You related to my situation, which is, you always want to relate to the person, I think. Yeah, that's my feedback.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you're still here, right? Oh, because I thought you left for a bit and then you came back in right away.
Yeah, I did. My
Okay.
laptop died, so I just had to plug it back in real quick. The charging cable came. I'm back now.
All right. I agree with everything that Brian said. So if you think about asking the budget question, it's the fact that you can't perceive that you're trying to make them uncomfortable, and you yourself sound uncomfortable asking that question.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I can see that.
but you got to perceive it like you're doing them a favor by asking that question.
Okay.
If you ask them the question and they don't want to invest, you're going to give them a ton of resources, the pain relief support group. You're going to exceed their expectations and save them an hour of everybody's time by not jumping on that transformation session. You understand that?
Okay. Yep.
So you're saving them time and you're giving them a ton of resources. They're going to come out with a win even though they don't become our client.
Right.
Okay? You're doing them a favor.
Okay.
If they're willing to invest, you're also doing them a favor because you're going to get them onto a qualified call with me. Right? So the good stuff is you do the math. I love that. I think you should do the math right in front of their face and just spiel it at them. You have the friend tone on, Will, once in a while, though. Your friend tone is always on.
Yeah.
I think there's times where you're just like, well, damn, Brian. Oh, sorry, Jay. Well, damn, Brian, Jay. Like you're like, if you capitalize that, if you just do the math, that's $7,200. Like, do you feel like that's honestly helping you long term? That's not a friend tone. That's like challenging them, right? You're actually saying like you're wasting your money. I think you have to go through the flow a little bit. Do you remember the spin questions in general? It's just a situation.
Yep. The problems, implications, needs, payoff. Yeah.
How many needs payoff questions did you throw out?
I don't really think any.
You threw out one.
Maybe one, yeah, where I was like told them, we could help him get back to his one goals with weight loss and playing basketball. But other than that,
right. So Brian said something along the lines of family. Like Brian was already kind of leading you into it. Like, oh yeah, I really care about my boys, right? Like, because you said why, and he's like, well, I don't want to watch from the sidelines, right? And he said that, right? Then you immediately jump to just the next question, like, dig into that more.
Yeah.
So like he said, I don't want to watch from the sidelines. Well, Brian, why don't you want to watch from the sidelines? Why does that matter to you? Well, then he's going to go even a deeper level in the onion, right? He's going to be like, well, I really want to participate with my kids. Like, why would I want to watch from the sidelines? It's frustrating. He might use the word frustrating, and be like, so why is it so frustrating? So like, why do you really want to play with your kids? Why is it so important to get your body back in check? And then he'll say like, well, dude, I like, my kids are everything. I love my kids. They are the world to me. and that is why I have to do this. Then you start to get them to pull into the picture. When you make them feel so emotional and drained about it, then you go, hey, what if we could provide you a solution that's foolproof, that's guaranteed to get you those results? What if we can eliminate 20 years of pain and do that in under a few weeks? How would you feel?
Okay.
He's going to say, hey, great. And how would you feel if you can have maybe an accountability partner to like do that with you every step of the way? Would that be helpful? Absolutely. That's 2 needs payoff questions. Great. So Brian, what exactly do you need in order to ensure your success? Like, cause I think you didn't really hit, and maybe that's something you can add in, because that's like, it's kind of relational, but you're saying, just based on the things that you said, I think that we could book you into a session, but I don't think that you got enough of what Brian really needed.
Mm-hmm.
Cause
Yeah,
what if Brian doesn't even have the expectation that this is like a 1-to-1 online program? Like, you didn't really settle that with him, right?
Right.
So like,
Yeah, I think that,
go ahead.
I think that I just stick. Like, I noticed that a lot of times I just like, even when he's saying his lines, since I'm not as comfortable with the script yet, I tend to be like almost looking ahead at the next question without even thinking about it, and I'll try to catch myself sometimes, and then be like, oh crap, what did he just say? So I just gotta familiarize myself with it more.
Yeah. So repetition's everything, and you're a different beast, Will, because this is like your main role. So you want to treat this like this is your main role, because like Brian's main role, mainly it's operations and helping with all the tech related stuff. You have a question about tech, Brian's gonna answer that, right?
Right.
You will be the master of this. You should be head over heels better than Brian at this job, because this is your expertise. So treat it like it's your expertise. Like, Brian practices and looks at all the CRMs because he needs to master this. Same thing, like I've mastered physical therapy, and I still continue to look at articles and make sure I keep up with the latest evidence. Same thing goes, you said, you were telling me like, oh yeah, I'm going to watch some YouTube video. I think you said that, right? I'm going to watch some YouTube videos and some sales stuff. And that's good. It's all part of the learning, right? So you should actually practice often with your girlfriend, or you should practice this in front of the mirror, and even eventually try to do this without the script, right?
Right.
That way you're not so fixated, and I would say in a sense that we've all been through is sound robotic.
Right.
Because I sounded robotic, Brian sounded robotic, we've all sounded robotic, because that's how we sound when we're not comfortable with the script just yet, right? The thing you're really good at, Will, though, is that you're really compassionate. You can hear it in your voice, you can hear it in the tones, that you have a lot of compassion. And
I agree.
And when you related your pain to his pain, you got them on that relationship level where he started to trust you. The question, just after that though, after you got him on your level, I don't think you even asked the 2K to 6K question.
No, I didn't.
I think from what I understanding, I think he immediately just jumped to, well, I think you fit within the 2.5 to 3K range. How does that sound?
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah. that's a no-go. You just gotta, where at 2K to 6K, where within that range you see yourself investing. Then he'll let you know, I'm within that range, I'm not within that range. Okay, honestly, so you've been already spending X amount of dollars for 20 years straight. You could throw that number at him, almost $7,200 over the past 20 years, and you still have not found the results that you want. Is that correct, Brian? Yes, that's instilling a ton of doubt. Well, if we could provide you a solution that's going to work completely for you, like thousands of our clients all around the world have already done so, how would you feel, investing in our product that's actually going to work long term, and instead of just relying on massage all day, right? Needs pay off, instilling more doubt into them. After that, then you can start to say, well, in order for us to really get a general sense, because we always custom this to the person, we need to have that honest conversation about where do you see yourself investing. So that's why I'm asking that question, Brian. So where within that range do you see yourself investing from 2K to 6K? He might say no. He might say, okay, I'm honestly, the best I can do is 1.5 to 2K. Okay, that's cool, no problem. I think that we can definitely work with that. I'll definitely relay all that information over to Jason so that you don't have to repeat the wheel or reinvent the wheel. And we'll make sure that he understands all your needs ahead of time, and he's going to ask you a few more questions. Sound good?
All
And
right.
that's it.
One other thing. Oh, are you done? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm done.
One other thing. When you talk about family, that's a good time to dig into the wound, because family they're always going to be attached emotionally to family.
Mhm.
Obviously don't like criticize it, but like if you dig into that wound, like, oh, you want to be there for your kids, right? Like you want to play with them, and then they're going to paint their own picture, right? So you allow them to paint their own picture of what's going on, and then how do they get out of it, right? So you really want them to paint a picture so you can dig deeper, ask a few follow-up questions here and there. You don't want it to become an hour-long triage, but dig in, kind of go a little bit deeper on it so that they really feel emotionally attached to it.
Okay.
Cool. All right, man. So this is not even any, this is no negative criticism. All right. Well,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just straight up constructive.
Yeah, not at all. It's good.
Yeah, I built myself with Ryan in our relationship and saying, like, I'm very blunt. I would just tell you straight up what sort of things went well, what sort of things you could still work on. Completely constructive, okay? Nothing negative.
Oh yeah, I don't mind. You could tell me anything really. I wouldn't really. It would. I don't really care as long as it's it's helping me. So.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's probably the military in you too. It's just like
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah, you're just like, okay, I'll take it. Sounds good.
Yeah, dude, I've had drill sergeants make fun of my mom, and I sit there and look at them.
But I
Oh
also
yeah,
want to add on top of that, like, challenge us also, right? So if you don't think it's right, ask us why, and I'm 100% sure Jay is down to have that conversation. I'm down to have that conversation of what our thought process is, and we're not always right. You know what I mean? Like, we've tried a lot of different things already, so we can tell you like, oh yeah, we tried this, we've tried that. But if there's something that you feel like, I just don't think it's right, throw it out there. Like, you're not gonna hurt any of our feelings. We got tough skin, but throw it out there, because that's only gonna benefit all three of us, right? It's only gonna benefit the business if there's different ideas out there, and then we talk about it and figure out, okay, what do we want to do going forward?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.